lower bracket semifinal. The two losers colliding. Sock has just lost to Moon. WFZ against Focus. But the way more competitive matchup was Sock versus Moon, who showed great micro, great strategies, great ideas. WFZ was in game 2, kind of competitive. Game 1 was a smash. And then, yeah, he gave the lead away. This is not supposed to happen here. The loser is out of the New Year's Cup. Will not grab anything of that $9,400 prize pool. And the winner advances. Will face the loser of Moon versus Focus later today.
So here we go. Map 1, WFZ in the bottom left, in the red. Sock top right in the blue. So far the builds are looking very standard. What happened to all the Lich first and Dreadlord first plays, by the way? Like,
well,
leading up to WGL, especially 1-2-0, played that a ton. But ever since then, nobody's doing it anymore. Was that once again the Happy influence? Happy is that WGL destroys all the humans with standard play, so now everyone plays standard? Is that what happened?
Wasn't it just 1-2-0 playing it, though?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, he takes it a little more serious then, I guess, to start the year. Maybe in WGL qualifiers we will see his wonky strategies again. I mean, he introduced the unique strategy of playing a Fire Lord third already. But yeah, if there's interesting strategies, then it definitely are coming from 1-2-0.
Oh, dude, poor TBC. How must he have felt after that game?
As always. Except in the one game against Soin where he played 6 Frostworms and won.
Oh yeah, where Zoan refused to buy speed scrolls.
Echo Isles.
Painful. Painful memory. So yeah, so far it's looking absolutely standard. And what I was talking about earlier, recently humans have been intentionally feeding away, sacrificing a footman. Now that sounds weird when you hear it for the first time, but the idea is footman comes in for the first creep of the DK, gets ensnared on purpose, and then tries to force attention on himself, and that serves a double purpose. First of all, it's scouting information for the human, and secondly, it slows down the DK's progress enough time, oftentimes, for the human to creep the natural before the DK can come in with harass, because that is the big difficulty on this map. If you are going for the natural creep, trying to fast expand as the human, if the DK comes in with good harass, with good coils, with good skeleton control, that can be really, really painful. But Sock so far not sending the footy into ensnare range yet, just for scouting, so it's not the sacrificial footy the way Infi and TH played it once or twice. So the DK is already on his way across. And, oh, if the footy could steal the last, it's be so big on the trapper. But can't really manage to make that work. Oh, but picks off the little hurt skeleton. That's a nice little touch. A bit more experience to the AM.
DK runs over. Is too late though, so no steal happening. And with that, WFZ went across the entire map without any success. Of course, he will slow down the Archmage a tiny bit as well. So, Sock not attacking. WFZ is creeping up more for this aura. I guess WFZ was expecting an expansion, which should be the game plan. There we go. 7 Militia. How many kills can he get? Big aura upgrade.
Good mana. A few skeletons still. So, the goal here for WFZ is to kill peasants and last hit the creeps. That one not perfectly played around for by Sock. Oh, and the purge actually from the creeps against the DK. That's very weird. Puts a bit more damage there on the first hero for WFZ. The big overseer, of course, the #1 prize to get. But Sock is paying good attention. Exactly the way you're supposed to play against the DK. 2 footies always on the DK, and once he gets in range, the AM also puts in the right clicks. So the Death Knight not able to steal too many last hits. He stole some, so he delayed the level 3 on the AM. But the skeletons give more experience, and that is level 3 Archmage. 3 peasants died. That's kind of normal. But WFZ could come in for more kills, especially one of those peasants is very hurt.
Archmage about to wake up the creeps here. No free regen for this DK. A very obvious play by WFZ, but in the end, he still gets more HP than he had before. Nice block. But the cloak comes into play. Nice find in the early. More right clicks. And this should be a safe expansion. 6 footies still available. Waits for the militia time to get power build or better power build. Tech for WFZ is almost finished though.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, the expansion is definitely a little bit late. Ideally, you would like to have that faster, but it was not too much damage to the economy. Peasants still representing good numbers. So much so that Sok could actually perhaps tech before the expo finishes.
Surround on a fee. Oh, almost. Opens up that circle again. Third try.
Oh!
Yep. Coils the footy, knows, okay, there's no way to save this fiend. Still a great trade for Sok.
Oh, and that hurts so much. When you only have 2 fiends, losing one of them. This is all aggressive potential gone now for like the next 2.5 minutes.
You don't have the necessary focus fire against footmen. You can't really commit to any towers. Without the lich, you can't really kill peasants as well.
I like the defend timing by Sok coming in before the tech, so not too greedy. The general rule of thumb is when the lich is out, that's when you want to have defend, which is pretty much perfectly lining up for him. And the tech still coming in pretty quickly. Human tier 2 starts before undead tier 3, or at least pretty much around the same time. Sok doesn't have the fastest expansion or tech in the world going on here, but it's still fine, and that 1 fiend kill really helps him for this mid-game pressure phase.
And only 2 footmen and 3 peasants killed. That's not much. It's not really close to level 3. Water Elemental no, will not expire.
I like the early lumber mill in the main for Sok. It's going to help him a lot with lumber income. Making a shop and a blacksmith at the expansion. Macro for Sok is looking really nicely. And also, his positioning on the map is good because if WFZ moves towards the north to be aggressive, he's in perfect position to counterattack, run by into the undead main.
Oh, this 1 fiend looking again very hurt. Forces at least a coil. There we go. Only level 1, of course. Statues are here now. 2 decent damage on this Archmage. Man, Sok is really playing well today. I mean, this won't end up in a kill, but it's another coil.
Yeah, this kind of is a waste, honestly. Lich, the hardest target to kill. It was a nice move, and it's only 2 footies dying. But it's also a lot of time. It's a lot of time for Sok. That is the biggest benefit here. Plus mana drain from the DK.
Oh, Fiend. There's no coil for the Fiend. If he gets it, Water Elemental block, not perfect.
Close. More pressure. Lich forced into a heal pot here in a second, probably.
Quite some gold you don't want to invest. And it's just Footman. Second Fiend hurt. Water Elementals give a lot of XP, of course.
Mana potion for the DK as well. Another 200 gold gone.
Big Nova though. Can he save that Fiend? With the coils, I guess, yes.
Sok is looking like Infi and TH, seemingly winning this game with only footies.
If he's not losing 4 of them, I guess it was a nice move. He saves 3 out of 4.
Yeah, outstanding play by Sok. This is looking a lot like their series in Huya. Sok is outplaying WFZ pretty hard so far.
Staffs to the shop, gets the clarity, more farms to break upkeep soon. Towers are finished as well. In the main, he's not forgetting about the main. And the Mountain King is coming.
A player's forces are under
so
attack.
dominant with only so little.
Now, Sok always used to be a Knight's Gyros kind of player. But Infi kind of shook up the meta when he 3-0'd Happy. So perhaps... Is Sok also going to start playing tanks? If he is planning to do that, he's still far away from that. Lumber for Sok, kind of an issue.
No auras from the middle today again, just the +4 items. But Sok is getting ready again with kind of healthy footmen. But what's he to attack now? Ghoul's easiest task, of course, is a little trouble of getting into that base. Fast reaction by WFZ with double slow, not too hard to do.
If this was Infi, he would have retrained to Blizzard now, probably. But at the moment, we still see Water Elementals. They will not last too long here against the destroyers. But this is a lot of lost mining time and a lot of time bought across the map by Sock. Of course, footies are dying kind of like flies, but you want to get some value out of them before they become completely obsolete, which they kind of are now already.
Yeah.
And there was time to start the tier 3 tech. Sock is on his way to the castle. Has the
Also-
workshop already.
Exactly.
Gyros are coming. And now it's probably time to turtle, hold on, and wait for the tier 3.
You can't really push without a level 3 Lich. He needs a third hero as well. And his economy is not looking too good. Let's compare 6,800 versus 6,500. Plus this expo. So, Dark Ranger, I guess? Or is it Pit Lord Happy style? Pit Lord Happy style.
We saw that before by WFZ. Normally that only works when you have a strong mid-game presence, like 4, 5 fiends, maybe even 6, canceling towers over and over, putting in damage.
He never touched the second base. Never. In this entire game. Sock was distracting just way too well.
Yeah. But now Sock is far away from another counterattack run by. He's gonna try. I like the arcane far in front, by the way. Can drain the pit lord. Oh, there's a lot of damage though. Ouch! Level 2 Nova and the Rain of Fire killing a ton of peasants over here.
Not yet. Needs the last hits. Okay, quad kill. Man, how many multi-kills have we seen today? First by Moon, then from Sock, now from WFC. But forces the TP and the tower is still up. So it's just peasants dying.
That was pretty expensive though. Absolutely. Also lumber-wise, this could become problematic. But Sock is close to tier 3. And then it's gonna be Knights and Paladin time.
We have a couple of new subs. Thank you, Exodon TV, Djokovic, and KX85 for the 17-month resub. Much love. Sweet deny. Number of flying machines is rising. We go Breakers even. And a Paladin third. Plus Knights.
Players'
So
forces
good
are
old
under
Knights
attack.
gyros. And in a fire.
So, Sock is gonna try to go for the run by again, or is it now seriously time to turtle? WZ continues to creep. Level 4 DK is a really nice level up. The increased aura movement speed helps quite a bit. And of course the big item. Big mana potion. Oh yeah.
He had that against Focus as well. Didn't help him. Well, of course it did help him. Didn't save him.
Players' forces are under attack.
And the army of Sock is just getting better and better and better. He's getting so much income here. Still not breaking upkeep.
2MK finds the flute. Very nice for the gyros. Not too many gyros though yet. One Sock is at like 70 to 75 supply. That's when he starts feeling really good. But he's still far away from that. This undead force is still scary. WFZ, for the time being, still has map control.
Maybe he's just like too greedy, too Scottish in not willing to invest too much gold. Mountain King with an orb. Has to hold this again. Peasant suffering. Not a good game for the working men so far. And Web is ready. No anti-air.
I'm kind of surprised Sock is committing in already, especially without Militia.
Yep.
Pally in trouble. Carl Nova dead. Which level 4?
Eats a fiend right away. Doesn't have the necessary mana for a Nova yet, but now
A player's forces
Sock is
are
struggling
under attack.
indeed. Like 10 supply down. Hero levels look really good. Even the Pit Lord level 2. And the Arcane is finally destroyed.
Minor thing, by the way, the fact that there's only one arcane in the front row and not more towers. I think that's a small mistake in the base layout. But the bigger thing is here, this big undead army still can't get contested, seemingly. Sock needs to wait for more army, but he doesn't have that much time. This town hall is taking a ton of damage right now.
Sock needs more army, but he only has 3 production buildings. Sounds quite a bit, but really isn't if you play 2 base. More and more workers falling. so quickly.
Players' forces are under attack.
So now desperately trying to intercept reinforcements, but not even that is working too well.
Militia coming in from the main. Okay, Sock now coming in with a bit of a sandwich. Stormbolt in the back, but DK has plenty of coils, of course, especially with that mana potion. But Paladin's in now as well. This is a nice little power spike here for Sock with the Militia. Takes out at least one of the Fiends. And the Lich's around once again in the back. He's got the heal potion. There's coils as well, but coil on cooldown has to use the heal pot here to not get focused. Crucial surround to force the TP.
Kinda bad that the orb is not on the Archmage. I guess he's seeing this soon as well. Still on the Mountain King, so he can only attack in melee range. Maybe with an orb, could have done more damage. More touch
Players'
transition.
forces are under attack.
I guess the Banshees. Is the
Can be
idea.
sniped easily though.
If WFZ has an invul there, if he kites a little bit better, this perhaps could have pushed back and WFZ perhaps could have killed the Expo. But now plan B for WFZ is to counter expand instead. And find Sock over here. Could be a nice creep jack opportunity at the fountain. Pally once again in focus fire. No level 2 yet for the Divine Shield and no staff. Oh, there is a staff. Okay. So Pally.
Archmage now has the tier 3 items, both of them. A little bit of experience again for WFZ, but the big level ups are quite far away. The Lich is once again a powerhouse with plus 20 damage and decent attack speed. Is there more to creep for Sock? He's close to 3, close to 4.
That's really big level ups for him. He only needs 2 more camps for triple level ups, which are all a really big deal.
Struggling to find the Paladin, but I just trust you on it.
He's in the main still, healing up with
Oh yeah,
Sanctuary.
super close to 2 as well.
He's gonna get that just from the 2 green camps that are left, as it seems. And that changes a lot. As I mentioned earlier, with the nice gyros, you really do need to hit a critical mass. 70 plus is what you want. And Sock is pretty close to that now. 4 breakers. It's a little bit heavy for in my opinion. Also going Sorks. I think gyro numbers are really low, right? Yeah, 3
Yes.
gyros. Sock could easily get overwhelmed by the destroyers if he doesn't make more gyros. It was Infi here playing so massively against Happy, having the perfect units at the perfect time. Also with really strong gyro micro, getting the victory on this map. Or was it the last map? I don't think it was actually. No, Twisted was the last map. Right? I think so. But WFZ's heroes are certainly very strong. 4-4-3. And yeah, only three gyros. That's honestly a big problem.
Yeah, he completely ignores anti-air. Just cares about fiends.
And the right play here for WFZ once a fight comes is to morph 2 more of the destroyers, 2 more of the statues into destroyers. And then it's gonna be really tough for a Sock to find a favorable engagement.
Mountain King so masked, by the way. Sock also got all 3 big level ups. Mana region on the Mountain King now is insane. Okay, gets the high ground with Ivory Towers.
Okay, if Sock doesn't want to fight but wants to position himself defensively up here, then of course more teams are really good. Also cannon towers coming in, that's cute.
With frag
Sock
shards.
doesn't exactly have the lumber though to set up a new base up here.
Disease Cloud Abominations. Good against breakers. Still, he started gyro production again, but it's still only 5, and feed numbers are decent, I'd say. But they're out of position, can't really get the web, and then gyros are okay. Now they're flying in range. Oh, the Pit Lord though! The Pit Lord though just died!
Aye. That's a big mistake by WZ. That really should not happen. Sock is pushing forward. WFZ, of course, has to kite back. The Lich in trouble as well. This time the coil does land, though. Gyro's almost all taken out. The DK in heavy trouble. He gets slowed. Stormbolt is cooling down. No TP for him. And no Death Pact either if the first hero dies. But he gets the anti-magic, which is a big help for him, and the level 5 as well.
Okay, well, there's so much mana still on the Mountain King. Lich levels up to 5 as well. Level 5 for both of these heroes. Level 3 Coil Nova. Which heroes will prevail? We have plenty of Holy Light. Disease Cloud does a good job. I think there's no priest anymore. Mods operating still from range. Frontline pretty much gone with no knights there anymore. And the anti-air as well. WFC holds.
Yeah, this is kind of what we were expecting. The destroyers just take over. And there's no answer to them!
Paladin.
Eliminated.
Again. Not supposed to happen. And now there's no healing for this MK, so he has to play this MK a lot more carefully than before.
The Mortars are putting in the damage from range. Take out the Ziggurat. If Sok can buy enough time here to kill the Haunted, that would be a big deal. But the MK in trouble, in deep, deep trouble. Trying to transfer the TP. If that fails, that would be a disaster. Coil takes out the Mountain King. And now the Mortars and everything exposed in the back. TP out. One more Sorceress dies. And now Sok must realize he needs a lot more gyros.
Yeah, that fight. He had a TP and the potion on the Archmage. Didn't realize how in trouble this Mountain King was.
A player's forces are
Yeah, and also as far as army comp goes, investing that supply into Sorks rather than gyros, I think that is a big mistake.
This tower investment is not paying off. 2-1 upgrades for WFZ as well. Flying into web range. And now 2 base. Still 70 supply. Pitlot about to be back. It will take so long for Sok to revive both heroes. Mountain King from the tavern. With that mana regen kind of makes sense.
What every other human would have done, by the way, in this little attack, one tank would have been attacking the expansion.
Yes.
But Sok just refuses to make tanks, which...
He doesn't even have flag cannons.
Well, that's also a problem. MK in trouble. Staffs were already used, and he dies again without giving him a potion before. Sok starting to make some pretty big mistakes here.
Nice fight by WFZ though. Before the Paladin is back, before the Holy Light is back. And again, problem to face the Destroyers. To attack them even. Decent micro here, constantly flying above the fiends, so they can't really be reached. Paladin level 3 back. But what about the Mountain King? What about the carry? What about MC Hammer? Not coming back at all. Weird choice. Second Tavern revive.
It's kind of like against Moon earlier. The late game army comp just doesn't seem to be ideal. Especially these Sorks. Sorks only work when you can deal with all the destroyers. Otherwise, they're just a complete waste.
Yeah.
And also, against Fiend armies, in the first place, they're not that good. I don't know, maybe he just wanted to make units from all production. But now, more and more units are being lost by Sok. These undead heroes are officially out of control, about to hit double level 6.
Oh yeah. How rare is that?
Yeah, 2 more kills. Lich hits it first. 5 XP away.
Town is under siege.
There's a TP here, so WFZ can TP out if he needs to.
A player's forces are under attack.
Decides to go for Frost, for Dark Ritual 2. Makes a ton of sense. Level 6 on the DK. Everything so fast now on Holy Aura 3. No ultimates on the undead side, of course, as they suck. Would help with the castle.
Sok still has a pretty big army, but it's a weird army. 7 gyros only. Which sounds like a lot, but it's not, because it's 1 supply units.
A player's forces are under attack.
Can he get that trade? Is there a TP? Yes, there is.
Does he still not have flag cannons, by the way?
It's finished now.
Okay. Yeah, taking a big fight without flag cannons also pretty questionable. Alright, TP in now. AM seriously in danger! And instantly deleted.
By absolute... No other word is more fitting than deleted. And yeah, he continues this. Bye-bye, Paladin. He finally takes care of the destroyers, but if Sok wins this fight somehow, with only one hero. Oh, possession even. We get undead knights. And it's okay, it's around on the lich, but there's an invul. And many more coils. Holy smokes. GG.
Alright, WFZ, I was kind of worried for him that he was gonna go out 0-4 or 4 with the Orc Worker award. But no. Puts up a good fight here in the late game. Super high level undead heroes carry once again, as so often. But Sock, man, that's a painful game to lose. He had a big lead in that match.
Yes.
I think also the Sanctum transition was way too late. Normally you want to tech tier 3, immediately go Sanctum, and then start pumping out the breakers. They were coming really, really late only. And then as far as the ultimate late game army goes, as we said, way too few gyros. Sorceresses in there, which don't really make sense.
Yeah, how good was this early for Sock? Like, this expansion, he didn't even get a tower cancelled until the Pit Lord was out for the first push. Like, there was no Lich Fiend statue harass, which is the norm and the first big power spike for Undead.
Yeah.
That didn't happen because Sock was so disruptive in that stage of the game.
And Sock tried with a decent SimCity at the Expo, but honestly, it wasn't that good. Ideally, you want to have Arcane in front, obviously, but also 2 guard towers next to it, but they weren't there. They were further in the back, so he couldn't return too much fire. And you want to have the farms so far in front of the Arcane that the Fiends can't really attack it without bugging out. And that also wasn't accomplished, so certainly a few things to improve on there for Sock.
Nice for WFZ to just shrug off the loss against Focus, which was a little heartbreaking, to be honest, from an Undead perspective. But this is more Sock's loss than WFZ's win. But alright, human map now, Northern Isles. Which is interesting. If, like, Happy would pick this map, and Sock picks it now as well.
Yeah, personal preference, perhaps coming in here. Can be a difficult early game map with the right kind of harass at the natural goldmine creep. But we saw that very well defended by Sock. It seems like he is really good at holding off that kind of pressure early game. Unless it's Happy on Amazonia. You remember that game?
So, Chet wants to make an argument that Death and Decay does not suck. Guys, you're playing against a Mountain King. You invest more than 200 mana. Your opponent invests 75 mana to just stop it after a second. Don't tell me that Death and Decay doesn't suck.
Yeah. Channeling ultimates are only really good if they have low cooldown.
Yeah.
Like Tranquility.
Or are cheap.
Yeah.
Or both, ideally, of course.
Death and Decay can sometimes be useful.
Yes.
Sometimes, yes.
But so can Earthquake.
Yeah, mostly it's trash. Yeah, Death and Decay and Earthquake are actually kind of the same. They're only really good for killing buildings.
Yeah. Nice that we settled this. Twitch chat for the second time today, wrong.
WFZ doesn't even have cleave. Yeah, that's where some undeads are differing on the top level. Happy, for example, does go cleave, which is actually really good against the breaker and knight front line to put in damage. But of course, Howl also works against, well, against only the knights, really. Does Howl affect mechanical units, dude? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
Maybe we're going to see it again. But yeah, it's kind of an offensive versus a defensive option. I think both are viable. Especially if the opponent goes super heavy on knights. It's pretty good. But didn't really see that. Knight numbers are pretty low. And especially gyro numbers. That was the big problem for Sock. But okay. He's going to have another chance here. On map 2, Northern Isles. WFZ with the lead with 1-0. Which I was not really expecting. But good for him.
Kind of surprising to see that WFZ has a 67% win rate over Sock. Maybe he's just his nemesis. I have to look up the numbers because I can't really believe it. Maybe it's like it's of course all the games, and WFZ had a strong phase when Sock was still an up-and-coming player, but maybe that's some stats. Wow, 6-1
In series?
Yeah.
That's very surprising. And of course, I say that especially in mind with Sock's performance at WGL, where in the groups, Sock defeated Happy in a 2-1, or in a best of 3 with 2-1, and looked so damn strong there. And interestingly also, the winning strategies versus Happy was always fast expansion, tier 3, and mass Knights gyros. Nothing else. No flavor units, no Sorks, no breakers, nothing. Just Knights gyros, Knights gyros. And now, he's switching it up a little bit. And map 1 at least, not too successful. But we'll see how map 2 goes. The openings, once again. The absolute standard Ted Fiend build versus the normal AM footies. I'm still waiting for the day where finally we see someone in a NetEase tournament playing Pally rifles.
Yeah.
When's it gonna happen?
I think... I mean, TH and Infi were casting W League Europe, I feel, and they saw it there a lot. Still didn't feel like adapting to it. We have to ask Wong to ask them why they are not playing it.
Under attack.
Thank you, Chris Bum Spitz, for the 17-month resub. Bring it on! Alright.
WFZ's opening here is looking very happy, inspired. Going for the green camp with a claw to begin with. And with that movement already, this could be an easy expansion for Sock if he was to go green into Expo. But Sock is going green into Expo. Which is perhaps the wiser thing to go for, because if you go for expansion right away, and there you lose a couple of last hits to the coil, then getting level 3 is going to be really difficult. This can be a big problem on Northern Isles, if you lose a couple of creep last hits reaching level 3. Because, yeah, if you creep the natural and you took out the green camps already, where you could realistically get the level 3 then would be the Scorpion camp, which is really awkward to go for. So Sock is playing it safe, one green after the next, and with the natural then, that should be level 3. It will be the fast expansion here by Sock, no one base play. Again, nobody really seems to be playing that anymore. In Asia, at least.
Both with the cloaks. I wonder what comes out of this. We have seen good cloak usage on map 1 already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 again. WFC sees it immediately. So how much can he punish this on this map? 3 peasant kills and a creep was what he gathered on map 1. Kind of far away. Magi already down. Tuska Trapper as well. Acolyte not in for the silo, already killed. Not too sure. Entirety of the camp goes to Sock.
Yeah, WFZ used all 4 charges of Rod of Necromancy for creeping, then went back to the shop, and then is trying to harass. So, obviously, he's too late to do anything. And here I wonder, like, what's this opening hoping to achieve? Love the footy scout, by the way. Sent over to the right to see the DK approaching. Sock knows this was a really smooth early game so far. If he minimizes peasant numbers now and keeps his macro and tech at the right pace, this should be looking really good for him.
The town is under siege.
There's a fiend harassing in the main, not at this expo. Of course, it's a little safer, but also less damage.
Sock not summoning the water elemental here, saving the mana for I don't know what. Nicked, thank you for the 15-month resub. So, 2 peasants killed, I think it was? Or was it 3? I think it was 2. So that's still okay. DK comes in again, more skeletons summoned. But expansion is done. And this one is looking to be at a pretty decent timing. Timing is looking very similar with expansions finishing and tech beginning as map 1. As we can see, tier 2 once again on the way for Sock in the main. No arcane in the main base. Saving lumber there, getting punished a little bit with 1 more peasant kill.
is under siege.
So now Sok making mass peasants at the expansion, because if he doesn't do that, lumber is going to be a big problem soon.
A player's forces
Right.
are under attack.
Sorry, I was a little distracted by other stuff right here. Lumber mill as well, so he's catching up with the economy. Tech-wise, it's still okay, I guess.
Yep, pretty standard.
To catch up with this.
Under tier 3, human tier 2, pretty much at the same progress. But DK not level 3 yet, and kind of low HP, doesn't bode too well. I like the boots on the AM, Neo, you know I love the boots, pretty much always. Well, honestly, for Undead it doesn't do much, but for human and Night Elf especially, really nice.
A player's forces
So,
are
Lich is finally out for WFZ. Oh, he's only 2 Fiends teching. Wow. And early Spirit Tower. Expecting a run by, seemingly. And creeping passively. WFZ has no intentions of being aggressive at all.
Well, I guess the towers are justified by the movement of Sok. I think he wanted to threaten a base dive again, as it was pretty successful last time. Thank you, by the way, for Glory Heaven for the €10 donation. Wonderful, man. Nova stealing that Murloc. DK has to retreat, though.
But the 2 Fiend tech, like... You can only really do serious pressure with 4 Fiends and the first statue, and then 5 Fiends, 2 statue, that's when you're really strong. But with this tech option, you are pretty harmless for a really, really long time. It's so easy for Sok to macro up now. He doesn't have to repair anything, he doesn't have to remake towers, he doesn't have to remake peasants. He's just in WFZ's face, turns on defend, a click. Yeah, he's losing a couple of footmen, but whatever. Those don't cost lumber.
And despite Coil Nova, he got that Murloc, which is pretty good as well. Can he save this one? Yep, despite defend. I think very reasonable losses for Sok. Like, what was it, 3 footmen or something? DK is so hurt.
I feel like WFZ, his game plan is pretty one-dimensional. It looks like he's thinking, okay, I want tier 3. Tier 3 makes me strong. But before that, just everything is going pretty bad for him. And Sok is having a chill time so far. Started his tier 3 tech, I believe. This time with a much faster Sanctum. This is the mistake he's rectifying from game 1. That was way too late in the first game. SimCity at the expansion. Looking a little bit better, maybe. But again, like, when you look at this right now, we have some time to talk about that. The blacksmith. This is not the right position for the blacksmith. The blacksmith is supposed to be basically one entire building further up. And then it's really hard to attack the Arcane Tower. And a farm next to that, and a workshop next to that, and so on. But it's looking good for Sok regardless. Going for the marketplace with defense, pretty easy to creep. Wand of the Wind, always great against the Death Knight.
Yeah, we saw so many cool plays with it. He could just get the Lich here, I think. If he Wand of the Winds the DK and then goes for the Lich, he gets us around anyway. Getting, oh, the cloak. Kind of called it. One of the Wind now. Nope, not in time. Gets the coil out. But the next one. I mean, there is one dispel now. There we go. Not dispelling it. Loses the Fiend. And that's how you use a Wand of the Wind.
Yeah, and against this Footman army, you're never supposed to lose anything. This is where Undead claims ultimate map control. You get the orb, you get the third hero, and then you have complete map control. And that's a time where you're not supposed to lose anything. And that's how you're supposed to be able to fight one base versus 2, as you kill his units, but you lose nothing in return. Speaking of third hero, WFZ has not chosen one yet. Finds the Belt of Giant Strength, which is kind of okay to keep heroes alive, but normally your heroes aren't in trouble anyways, for a long time at least. So, not that good either. And Sok looking really confident right now, just poking a little bit with the AM here for tiny bits of right-click damage.
Yeah, really annoying to have the zero comp around now. Oh, that was a little sloppy though. Was playing around with it. Tier 3 is done, and that's the Paladin Knights gyro play again. But I don't see any gyros in production. Going heavier on the melee ground army first again. History is a flat circle.
Did you see True Detective?
First season.
Yeah. The other ones are pretty trash. The first one was really good.
Ouch! Again, this double AoE.
A lot of peasants dying, but here comes the militia flank once again. This is what bought Sock quite a bit of space in the first game. Gyros take out the destroyer.
Feels like I missed a little bit of the gyro production right there.
Next Fiend falls, level 4 for the AM. That's a really nice level up. Better mana sustain for everything. And that was all even before the Paladin. Suddenly only 2 Fiends left. Pit Lord out of mana. This is not much pressure potential left at the expansion.
And he can't really keep on the pressure and counter expand behind it because his natural is not even crapped. And so he has to creep and wait for more units and then try it again. But it feels like just head against the wall. Temple of the Damned transition now. Again, Abominations, which I'm still not too sure if they're too good.
Another small adjustment, by the way, by Sock. Last game he was pretty greedy, going for double knight upgrades before producing them. This time, he's less greedy. 2 knights first, and then the upgrades start to come in.
Thank you, Smoking now for the 9-month resub. Okay. So tower's all gone. He's diving deep for this. This could make for a good position, but not if you expose your feet like this.
WZ kind of stuck in a corner back there, but also not too easy to engage into for Sock. But he tries. Going in with the MK in the front line. Remember, there is a Wand of the Wind. But there's very little damage actually on Sock's side. WZ though does TP out. One more statue. Ooh, baby.
60 HP. But yeah, this is supposed to be the strongest phase of the undead. And it kind of feels that way. But it also feels that it's coming to an end really, really soon.
Players' forces are under attack.
And now is it Plan B counter expo time again for WFZ? Sure is. Acolyte moving out. I wonder, is that part of WFZ's game plan? I'm gonna attack you at the expansion, do as much damage as I can, slow down your production, and then I'm gonna expand? Or is he just trying to win the game there, and then, well, if it doesn't work, I guess then I counter expand.
Hard to say, hard to judge. Both feels like not the greatest elaborated plan, maybe?
Players' forces are under attack.
It worked earlier.
He's doing a transition in the meantime during this attack, so I think it's not an all-in because then he wouldn't do the transition.
Oh, the AM cancel. AM is coming north, trying to cancel that Haunted. That is probably gonna cost him the TP. Oh, and he doesn't have mana for the Water Elemental for a few seconds.
Now, thanks to level 2 Brilliance Aura, and off we go. Cancel immediately. If he gets the Acolyte, that delays it for several seconds.
A player's forces are under attack.
Can't get it though. I am hoping that this won't cost him the TP, and it won't. But this was a nice delay already. And perhaps most importantly, it's more experience for the Pally and the Mountain King. A little bit sloppy. This was 3 gyros dying one after the next. Ideally, shouldn't happen. They are very fast. They have really good vision, even during nighttime. But also, easier said than done. With the rally points all over the place and so on. In we go again. Clap! Not level 2 clap? Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yep.
But okay, we'll see. Howl of Terror coming in. Does it work on gyros? It does! I just saw it. Okay. Minimizing their damage as well. Knights attacking the Fiends as it's supposed to be. Last Destroyer taken out. MK going through his mana pool really quickly thanks to the Clap and Stormbolt combo. Another Howl of Terror trying to reduce the damage. A-Bomb really tanky with the Frost Armor. Perhaps not the best target to focus here for Sock. Oh, Lich in the surround. Stormbolt focused. Coil comes in though. And there's also an Invul to protect him. Looks like Sock is not aware of that item. But he gets another Fiend. And that's level 3 Pally. A massive level up.
We have an Invul Potion on the Pit Lord as well. So heroes were kind of safe. The Wand of the Wind also used to not much effect, I would say. But WFZ, this would have been a great fight if he set up the expansion again, which he did not. So there's still a timer. on him because it's 2 base, 1 base. And Sock's numbers are rising up to 70. WFZ forced to stay into no upkeep.
We have a Devotion Aura in the shop. Could be nice for Sock. Doesn't buy it though.
Upgrades kick in, 2-0 for WFZ. Banshee Adept upgrade as well. We have seen 1 possession on a Knight before. 2-1 already, 2-2 coming on the melee units of the Korean.
A player's forces.
Possession is going to be hard to pull off though against Stormbolt and Double Staff.
Yes.
Staff does cancel Possession, in case you guys didn't know. Ring +4, that's actually really nice for Sock. It's all about keeping these heroes alive.
Yeah, we saw how this Archmage got, quote, deleted from the game at the end of game 3. Greater mana! Nice steal, he just has to pick it up. He does. Whew, that would have been quite a fumble.
A player's forces are under
WZ sneakily trying to go for the bottom right expansion. But Peasants find it instantly. They had the same idea. Knight upgrades, by the way, really strong now. 2-2 upgraded, plus Sundering Blades, plus Animal War Train, of course.
And don't forget about Inner Fire.
Yeah. I mean, he was lucky to see that from the creeps. It's gonna fade soon.
Okay, he's trying to break in again.
Really surprised he's not buying more items from the marketplace. Sock still has 1,000 gold. Lumber is the issue for him. Perhaps he should remake some Peasants or a Shredder. Alright, MK, is it finally time for the Aura?
He has so much gold, man, he can buy that
No.
entire thing. Also Mana Stone, also Claws, Mantle. Maybe with Clap, even Cloak of Flames would be good. Help the economy, man. Don't be so greedy. Expo cancelled again.
But yeah, Sock is fulfilling his #1 goal. Keep WZ in 1 base, and then this game should be looking pretty good. WZ at 60 out of 60, and no new Ziggurat coming, so he doesn't have even the option to go to 70.
And we get
quite a while.
Sorceress again. There might be a Destroyer now, but not 3. And this time there's a mass of Gyros with 1-2 upgrades. So the Sorks will actually have value. And Mortar Team against the Banshees as well. This time, the late game unit transition is a lot better.
7 gyros can still be overwhelmed though, so I would like to see more gyros actually. But for now we have more teams coming in, which are of course really good against Banshees with frag shards.
For the human army, you always want to see more. More footmen, more gyros. Can't you just be happy with what we have? Just be satisfied for once.
That is oftentimes the difficulty with human army. If you assemble it perfectly, it's really strong, but getting the perfect army comp isn't easy.
a player's
So here we
forces.
go, once again. WFZ doesn't look like he's ready. The Banshee is pretty far out of position. And the Fiend stand inside the Knights instantly. Here comes the first clap.
Possession.
Very early Mind Shield as well. Oh, Possession coming in.
one.
The DK also in trouble. No TP for him, by the way. He's getting slowed down. This is where the Sorcerers come in really handy. So much so that they're getting Coil Nova to get rid of him. Lich also in trouble. He's almost in a surround. Eats the Stormbolt, but Anti-Magic protects him. More clap coming in. DK still in a bit of trouble over here. WFZ absolutely holding on to dear life. So is the Paladin. Getting focused now. Coil Nova is ready, but he dodges it with the staff. Nicely done by Sock. And the Mortar volleys from the back, finding more and more kills. Level 4 Mountain King gets a strong Stormbolt now finally. No mana anymore, but it's still good enough. GG and 1-1.
Sock is fighting back. We go full distance in the second Sock game. The second time we go to game 3. Same as it was against Moon. And that was once again pretty fun game here. What was the big mistake now? Like, this expansion was too easy. Again, counter expansion maybe too late. The push really didn't work this time.
Yeah, the opening by WFZ was very strange. He went green into green and then trying to harass. He probably would have been better off if he went green into more creeping, because he only killed 3 peasants, which really isn't much at all. I think that was just simply the wrong opening. Also, the decision to tech on only 2 fiends. He could not be aggressive for a really, really long time. Very easy macro game for Sock. Really easy tier 3 transition to get to Knights.
Yeah, pretty much the same as the last game, but with a better late game for the human. And better decisions.
Had more knights, had more gyros. That was the important adjustment there. Did not get overwhelmed by destroyers.
Yeah. After this, we have 2 more games. Focus versus Moon in the winner bracket. And the game for the second playoff spot. The winner of this versus the loser of the winner bracket final. I wonder if I can cast through the entire thing. Because I have to leave at like 16:20, 16:30. Gonna be close.
That's probably not enough time. But I'm here. I can take over.
Stupid creep check show. What's it worth anyways?
So, deciding map 3, Amazonia. Interestingly, this is where Sok got completely annihilated by Happy, but also this is where he completely destroyed WFZ. Both those games happened in the Huya Super League, which was happening last week. Infi taking first place with tanks, something Sok just seems to refuse to do.
Yeah. He's a man of honor.
He's a man of honor.
Fighting with pride. Yeah. Until he gets killed maybe 3 times in a row and then decides, okay, winning is kind of even more fun than honor.
And interesting how it turned around for him, because he used to be King Cancer, playing Tinker and Mass Tanks and Mass Gyros all the time.
Like, seriously? I forgot about that King Cancer thing. That's like 2 years ago?
I think even longer.
How much he has changed since then.
Yeah. Used to play pretty gimmicky, but has become really solid over time.
There's hope for all of us. King Cancer. Man, I remember some Turtle Rock games, even with tanks. Oh my. Yeah, that's quite some time ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was him. Beastmaster first.
Yes, Beastmaster first.
Beastmaster first. Never fight. 25-minute game, not a single fight. Just tanks.
You were so furious.
Yeah. And then people started playing it on ladder, dude.
It all comes back.
Oh, that was bad, dude. That was a bad time.
Yeah, living together with Lolai, Chimiko, and Soen really changed him for the better. Thank you, Captain America OP, for the sub. Yo, that panda background is cool. Thanks, it's the official promo art of the New Year's Cup.
Still no differing builds here from the two. We have the Ted Fiends on WFC side and Sok with the standard AM opening. I'm pretty sure WFZ saw the game. Happy versus Sok here. I wonder if he can drop some inspiration from that, especially the peasant kills in the main, something to look for. Of course, Happy stole like 4 out of 5 creeps at the expansion.
Oh, Remo, I remember this game now that you tell it.
Something like that is, of course, not realistic, but to repeat. But killing peasant in the main, that could be something to look for, because that has been a weakness, I guess we can say, that Sok has been exposing over and over. No arcane in the main to save lumber to more easily expand and tech. So we're starting off with a normal creep. Oh, no lightning shield, actually.
Dude, it feels like someone plugged in a USB stick into my brain, filled with memories. This is, oh my, this is a weird feeling now. Lightning shield on
lightning
that
shield.
rogue. That is not good at all.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Oh, the rogue is following. That maniac.
That's because the Watch Elemental got purged. I don't know if that was just bad luck or his own fault. Oh, dude, that's a big slowdown, honestly. That's annoying. That effectively costs a lot of lumber. Interesting DK. Wait, what? WFZ first went to the north to kill the frog there and then goes back to the bottom right to creep that camp?
He got 0 experience until now.
Yeah, so the fact that Sok was so slowed down doesn't really amount to much.
Okay, I don't understand this at all.
Was it because he didn't find the critter on the right-hand side of the map? That's something that sometimes happens if you have bad critter RNG. Oh, and the footy gets ensnared! What's happening this game, dude?
Clown Fiesta on AZ. Oftentimes makes for good games, though. DK comes in for the arrest, can't of course coil the rock golem, but he can coil the footman. And snares flying again. Is he willing to commit to this? He can't really, will be surrounded instantly.
So much damage on these peasants because he doesn't have a new water elemental.
Another rod is finishing. Ooh, Archmage got it. Needs more though. Gets the next one as well. And plus a few skeletons. This could be level 3. He will get the trapper then. Nice peasant juggling. Another skeleton dead, another skeleton dead. That's level 3. Instantly summons the water elemental to deal with this. And again, saving these peasants. Oh, no, it was close.
That's a lot of peasants dying.
Yep. Oh, and he got the troll.
That's gonna hurt for the lumber. In the main, we only have one single lumber peasant left. Sock at least remakes them right away. But yeah, that was not ideal at all.
Tech on WFZ side. Close to finishing. I wonder how late this tech is going to be.
A player's forces are
He
under
needs
attack.
quite some footmen.
Yeah, and this is a very easy game to forget about defend as well, because all the timings are so thrown off. So WZ, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna 2-fiend tech once again? Doesn't look like it. He's going for a slaughter and a ziggurat first, but still stuck on 2 fiends for quite a while. Coming in for more peasant kills, gets at least one of them easily.
A player's forces are under attack.
But Sock seemingly ready for the defense. Oh, that expansion is late though.
Can you kill one more? Not really. The latest expansion we've seen today was 6:30. This finishes at 4:40. It's still like not the best time. No arcane tower in the base. One worker again exposed.
A player's forces are under attack.
AM is going for the boots. I like that. Can put on more pressure.
Yeah.
DK doesn't have mana right now. Could perhaps even be a fiend kill, but with blocks, probably not gonna happen. Lich comes out, Rod of Necromancy bot, and do we have defend? I imagine we don't.
Not sure.
Sock is forgetting about peasant production in the main. That is a problem.
A player's forces are under attack.
And still no arcane. And look at that, skeletons in the main, killing more peasants. We talked about this earlier. No arcane in the main, that can be punished.
Another footman kill close to level 3 DK. Still no mana. Sock is not willing to commit to this. Oh, bash. That's the level 3 from the water elemental right there. Also close to no mana for this archmage. Militia. Take more time. That's even less lumber. Still no tech.
Okay, here comes the tech now. Before defend, these footies can very quickly die.
Q3 tech is on the way as well. And the statue is here.
Oh, look at the 4 skeletons running into the main. This is actually really smart by
Player's
WFZ.
forces are under attack.
For the 3rd time now, right? He's not even fully mining from this main.
This game is looking to get more and more problematic for Sock.
And WFC is also focus firing quite nicely here. Making sure he gets some kills.
Town is under siege.
It's important that the shop finishes here for Sock. Tier 3 for WFZ, halfway done, and then
What was
Players'
this?
The headaches
forces are under
compound.
attack.
Super potion button was not necessary at all. Start making mistakes, losing more peasants. This is for just skeletons, an unbelievable number of corpses.
yeah. I think Sock is gonna start incorporating an arcane in the main soon.
Let's hope that he learns from his mistakes. That crippled the economy super hard. Tier 3, 70% done. Archmage level 4, okay, but that's the best thing that Sock has going for him.
He's got a shredder at least, so soon he's gonna have all the lumber in the world, which he's gonna need on tier 2. But he's not repositioning the shredder to have better lumber income efficiency, but it's okay. Lumber's gonna be looking good soon. Also, finally Arcane in the main, thank goodness. And somehow these footies, which I still think don't have defend, are pushing back this undead army. 3 statues, by the way. When you see 3 statues, you always have to think, uh-oh, destroyer bust incoming.
Yeah. I mean, was he really pushing him back, or was it a little intentional by WFZ, since tier 3 is finishing? He need an orb anyway. You know, it's not the worst timing for the undead to be pushed back.
Sock has to go for a counterattack now. If he gets attacked in his own base, this game could very quickly end. Lassit's here with a DK.
Too easy. Okay,
And a
Zeppelin
shredder as
and
well.
Shredder.
Heavy commitment to this run by, if we want to call it that.
Feels like it's a little late. I mean, all the important upgrades are queued already.
Attack.
Quite a few towers coming up for Sock. This is what he needs against the destroyers. So important to have that shredder. And I think WZ is totally falling for it. DK plus 1 destroyer alone would be enough to deal with that, but WFZ is hanging out with his entire army here. Kind of getting fooled by Sock.
A player's forces are under attack.
But Sock is certainly not out of the woods yet. Still not on his way to tier 3. Still no workshop for gyros.
Ooh, weapon the Zeppelin. Damage isn't enough though. He's trying hard. There's a second fiend.
If he fully surrounds that one,
Yep.
this could be scary.
Yep.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's going for it. Oh no. Watch it.
If the AM dies...
Oh, right next to it. Was that even a lot of kills?
I think the shredder died. Yeah, the shredder.
Oh, that's
popped.
big then, yeah. Shredder had no space. And 1 footy, I think.
But imagine if it's not the shredder that pops, but the AM.
Yes. Yes.
It's always-
yes. That was
It's always so scary with the Zeppelin.
the RNG on that.
Okay, WZ here coming in with quite the scary force. This time, Sock really does not seem to be ready.
No, he's not even
Tier
close
3
to
is
tier
far
3.
away. Arcane Sanctum only now finishing.
And he can't even go for breakers if he loses that shop. That's why he's heavily committing to that repair, exposing the peasants, of course, to Nova and Rain of Fire. Damn. Still have the opinion that Sock is one of the best undead or human players in the world.
Yep. If he plays better than this, yeah.
Just want to poke you.
He can play much better than this, to be honest. But at the moment, it's looking rough for the Korean. 31 supply. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. You are supposed to suffer a little if you expand against an undead, but this is not just a little. We haven't seen WFZ or Sock's expansion exposed to WFZ like this in this entire series.
Yep. There's always a scary thing. If you don't get your tech in time, if you fall behind, if you lose momentum, and you never get the Knights and the Paladin stuff, and then it gets to tier 3 and their power spike pretty fast, and you want to make sure you're not that much slower. But this game just completely spiraled out of control. Began with a lightning shield, and then the skeleton kills in the main over and over and over and over. Sock not covering all his bases, quite literally.
More reinforcements coming for WFZ. His army is not getting weaker, and Sock knows, and Sock is out. I guess the big minority of the audience would have thought so. But yeah, one of the most improved players of 2019 eliminated in round 1. Not the greatest year for him so far. Lost his clan, didn't go too far. Wait, he did in Huya was 3rd place, right? Or 4th place. 4th place, I think.
Yeah.
Being killed by Happy, now being killed by WFZ. Maybe he needs to rethink his matchup versus Human. He had a lot of chances, I guess, to close this out. But good for WFZ, shrugging off the loss against Focus completely now and making it one round further, where he will meet either Focus again in a rematch or Moon, as they are playing next. Only if you advance to the playoffs, you get prize money, so super important to survive your group.
Yeah, the surprises keep on rolling in. TH eliminated in last place. Sock eliminated in last place versus WFZ.
Yeah.
Infi almost dropped out himself. So yeah, lots of upsets here.
This is quite a fun tournament so far to follow, and we have 2 more matches for you here today, following it up with the 5th player making it into the playoffs, and that's either going to be Focus or Moon. So stay tuned, don't miss the decisions coming up in Group B.